introduce the next segment.
All right, the next segment is going to be called Daddy Issues, and this is the backstory of it. So, I was talking to my cousin, my older cousin, about my book, and he was telling me how he just lost his dad, and he was like, "Yeah, it was." I was thinking about it, like, "Yeah, I just lost my dad," but he's older than me. He's probably like 45 now. So, but he was like, and I was reading your book, and he was like, "Damn, you lost your dad when you was 12." So that's a totally different thing. And then I think about my brothers. They never had their father like that in life. So the question is, do you think it's harder for people and you think they have more daddy issues if they had their father in life or if they never had their father in their life?
Hmm.
That's what it is.
Okay.
We'll start with the guest. So, Jerica.
Well, my dad is very present in my life. Like that's literally my right hand man, partner in crime. Like I'm his twin. So I could definitely say like if he wasn't in my life, I would not be on the path that I'm on now. Like he taught me self-worth, honestly. Not to let anybody like use you or do anything crazy. I don't know. I really like it would be weird not having my dad around, honestly. So for me, it would be not having him around at all instead of like, having a dad that's there that's like a deadbeat, not really around kind of dad. So yeah, that's what I got. That's all. Cause I'm a daddy's girl. I can't help it.
Right. All right, Zach, it's on you, Zach.
So, uh, me too. I got my dad in my life. I've been living with my dad. Well, not now, but I grew up. I moved with my dad when I was 5 till I pretty much joined the army. Um, but I got friends who didn't, and like I look at my life now and I look at them, and it's totally different. Like, I mean, Judge, no, it's a lot of people where we from who dad not in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot. Like me and my 3 cousins, we all 1 year apart. And I look at them and I look at me, and it's totally different. And you know what? And I can't say my dad like done a lot, but his presence there to knock me in the head whenever I was fucking up and stuff like that. Like it's I knew I ain't saying my mama couldn't have done it, but it probably I would have received it way different.
Right.
Yeah. It's daddy issues can, and that's for male or female.
Right.
It affect I guess us the same but different at the same time.
Right.
Because I dealt with females who got daddy issues, and it's just as crazy as like I got a homeboy who used to grow up. He's like he wanted to kill he'll smoke his dad like the minute he saw him. And I was like, now me personally, I would always and I guess I can look at it different because I always would like I like to hear him out. Like, why wouldn't you there? Before I'm just trying to go at your head. Maybe he got a good answer. Maybe you never know. I like but I guess from coming from my perspective with a dad, I might have a different mentality if I didn't.
Right. Sheba, it's on you. Sheba.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was well, I had my daddy issues and stuff like that. As I got older, I put it behind me because my biological father was like in and out of my life. So like when my stepdad stepped up, like he, all that turned invisible. So, he stepped up and took care of us. So I don't really, think about all of the stuff in the past, but it's not like I'm not open to have a conversation with my biological father. I'm always here. But we have a strange relationship.
How does that affect dating, or when you was growing up? How did that affect your relationship with other men?
Well, it get deeper. It'll go deeper because, like, seeing things that I shouldn't have seen in my household. It was like, a lot of abuse and stuff. So I got a problem with hitting first, or I'm always jumping up to like, I wish you would, even if he ain't thought about it. I wish you would, So as I got older, I learned that, you know, everybody is not always ready to attack.
Right.
Everybody is not always ready to, you know, it's people that'll talk instead of, but I was always on the defense. I'm like, I'm ready. What's up? So it took a lot of getting older.
Right. Maturing. What about as far as just love, not the physical part? Was it harder to trust men, or did you look for love in all the wrong places? Like those type of things.
Yeah, I did. I did. I found myself when I was younger, dealing with a lot of older men. For what I don't know, I was attracted and drawn to them. But after a while, I started hanging with my own crew. But like love was difficult. Like I didn't believe in love. I'm like, can't nobody love? That's not it. It ain't such thing called love. Until, you know what I mean, I had somebody to love me and really sit down and talk to me and, you know, like mold you and let you know that everything was okay.
Angelia said she used to be the same way, She-Belle.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult. But, you know, it's people out there that really love you. And it's okay to trust somebody sometimes, you know. Just, you know, let yourself take your time and let you, you know, break down that wall. Don't let nobody say, oh, you know, it's taking you too long. Then, you know, if it's taking you too long for that person, then nobody can't tell you how long it takes for you to try to figure somebody out. You know, we got to start taking care of us, because I've been in a relationship for 13 years. And, you know, I found out that I was in a relationship with myself instead of being in a relationship with a person.
Right.
You know, so, you know, after being out of a relationship, I really start to take the time and start thinking about me, what's important to me, and that, you know, it's okay to be alone. It's okay to be by yourself. I started enjoying being alone by myself so much. You know, I'm like, I don't want to be with nobody else.
Right.
At this point, it was fun, you know. So, you know, you just take the time out and get to know you again. Right. And all that stuff will start to come back, and there will be somebody out there to love you, because it is still guys out there. I mean, even though it may be hard, it's still people out there that love people.
What you got, Judge?
So, you know, I'm named after my father. You know what I'm saying? So, about that, you know what I mean? So my dad really, I could find him, even though he was in the street. My dad hustled for years in the 70s and 80s and everything. And I really, you know, we had a relationship that wasn't, because he wasn't never really around, you know, and for a long time I resented him for the fact that, and, you know, even though he was in the streets, he never mistreated me, always loved me. My dad only hit me one time, and that's because I stayed out all night, and I was like 9.
Damn.
Yeah, I was 8.
What party was you at?
Hey, listen, and I was all the way uptown. I was out Huntersville, Zach, and I was all the way uptown where he used to hustle at, and I stayed out all night at 8.
Huntersville still crazy.
Yeah, I was tripping, and but he, you know, that was the only time he ever hit me. He was always a loving father, always somebody I could talk to. But I just felt like he just loved the streets more than he loved me. He loved all his women, you know, so we didn't have that type of bond, you know, especially when I started ball. My dad never see me play football, never see me play basketball. And I had to understand that, you know, he was a street dude. I didn't, but who wanted to hear that shit? You know what I mean? And then my mom had her own issues with substance abuse. So I had both parent issues. You know what I mean? I was out there fending for myself a lot. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it was. So a lot of the mistakes I made came with that. And before both of them passed away, I actually forgave them for all of that and moved past it. And, you know, I will say that regardless of who you are, you know what I mean? Like, not having your father, it does affect people. You know, it's going to affect you. Even grown men, I hear 50-year-old grown men say they miss not having a father. You know what I mean? But if you are dealing with these issues, I will say, you know, from a psychology standpoint, from certain things that I have studied in school and just being a mentor and case studies I have done, like you it's not your fault. Like you're going to have to move on, because at the end of the day, if your father or mother wasn't there, they may not never come. You can't hold on to that as an excuse to not move forward with your life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have to move on. The truth of the matter is they weren't there and they may not never be there. But that can't be a hindrance on you getting to the level in life and the things that you want to accomplish and letting that weigh you down because it's so far in the past. Did it affect you? Yes. Will it affect you? That's up to you. I'll say, try your best to move on, get past it. Life goes on and live your best life. So, that's my advice because it does leave an empty void in you, but you're going to have to find it in your heart and in your soul to find forgiveness for them because they're not perfect. Right.
What I was going to say was, since my dad died when I was 12, I started moving so fast in the streets that I never thought about it. Like I blocked it out. I pushed it out. So now that I'm older, it affects me more now, that I'm older because like I wish I could talk to him now. Like I wish he was here now more.
Yeah.
Like if he was here now, it would be easier. Like I could deal with it when I was a kid, but now it's like I need him here now just to have conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you missed a lot of those character building years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was blessed. I had my dad till I was in my late 30s. I was in my late 30s, you know what I mean? And my mom. So, I feel you though, T. I definitely feel you on that. Yeah.
All right, we can go through a couple of these comments before we go to ideology. If y'all still want to stay on ideology, y'all could. It's up to y'all. Zach, Jericho, what's up?
I'm good.
Y'all good?
Hey, I got a question.
What's up?
Go ahead, Jericho. You said something?
I said I'll stay.
Okay. I got a question for anybody in our audience or anybody on the panel. Well, and just anybody in general. It's for catered towards females. How did your sexual activity? How did having those daddy issues affect your sexual activity? Like, did you find yourself more so like being faster or being more reserved? Like, how did that, or did it even have an effect on you?
I was in them streets.
You was in the streets.
I was the total opposite. I was a total opposite. I was a tomboy up until high school. Didn't have my first boyfriend till 11th grade. Didn't lose my virginity to the end of 11th grade, early 12th grade. So, yeah, like it I think it saved me from being fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't a hoe or nothing, but I was in them streets. You know what I mean? And I don't know about losing my virginity I think I was starting high school.
Right.
When I lost my virginity. But hey.
It is what it is, cuz.
It is what it is, cuz. Yeah, that's about the proper time. I mean, realistically, for our generation,
right.
Yeah, it is what it is, cuz.
It is what it is.
Right.
Around about 9th grade, I was trying to do everything.
Hey, that summer, everybody trying to get it popping.
Right. That's when you start taking down stuff.
I mean, genetically, at that age, we're able to reproduce. And I mean, it's really society that puts the age on it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But technically, our bodies say something different,
Absolutely, yeah.
What you got, T?
As a female, you go into puberty. What we would like 11, 12?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. So your body is telling you, get ready, sis. It's about to go down, like sooner or later.
It's about to go down.
Get ready, sis.
It's about to go down. Judge, read like 3 of the comments before we go to ideology.
Okay. Janine says definitely was faster not having my dad around. He spent a few years in prison, so I was out there. But once he got out, I got my act together. Mm-hmm. So that just goes to show the presence of fathers is very important. Let me go back. Stacy says, my dad has always been in my life and he's a bigger part of my life now, but I honestly can't credit him for my success or who I am today. Sad, not sad. All right.
Well, sometimes some people have their dad there, but they feel like he not there. I think that's worse than just not having them at all. Is when it's like, you here every day and I can't depend on you.
Right.
Oh, can I say something? Let me say this. my mother was there. Okay, my mother she was strict, and you already know. T. I was terrified of my mother, but when your body, tick and that thing down there start, talking to you, you jump through hoops. I don't care what you say. I will get my butt whipped. I'll take that whipping when I get back home. I'll deal with it. But I just want to let y'all know that my mother was there in case she watched this. Mom,
hey, shout out to Mama Bell. Mama Bell. Hey, okay,
right.
AP.
Judge, give us one more comment before we go on.
Two more.
All right. You freezing up? What you want?
Huh?
You freezing up? Which one you want to
do? Sean L. Jones.
All right.
And the one under that one.
All right, go ahead.
All right. I said okay. We'll do this one. Okay.
Yeah,
I think it's worse not having a father around at all. My father passed from sickle cell anemia when I was 8. He knew he wouldn't live to see me, my sisters, and I reach adult, but he taught me a lot in those 8 years. Wow. Oh, Zach. Sean said, "What's up?" Her fellow Commodore.
Oh, what's popping?
The one under that too, T.
Go ahead.
All right. Miss Bastion says, if I had a father's guidance, I would have stayed single. A father's leadership is so important. I was looking for security in my teens and early 20s. Wow, that's deep.
Yeah, that's deep.
Before we go to ideology, I got a question.
Go ahead.
What if all right, say your father is around, but he just a bitch ass nigga? Like what? Because I see these young dudes out here, they snitching on each other. They have no principles, no morals, and I'm pretty sure some of they fathers was like, my dad was nothing like that. You know
Mine
what I mean?
neither. You know my dad.
Yeah, I know your dad. Yeah, stand up guy.
I don't even know.
Yeah,
but that take me back to when we was talking earlier. Sometimes it's not the parents, it's these kids. These kids is crazy.
Yeah, sometimes these kids is just bad as shit.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't know what's
you
wrong
can be
with these
thorough.
kids. These kids is crazy.
You could be thorough and still one of your offspring could be a bitch ass nigga.
What's the boy name? That just his son.
Kirk Franklin. Kirk Franklin.
Prime example.
Exactly.
Hey, Kirk told him, "I will put my foot in your ass so far you'll taste the boot strings."
That's shout out.
I
Hey,
can't believe that was news.
Right.
Exactly. What the fuck? Hey, but I will say this: having a father is so important because, oftentimes a great father they correct their children. So if you grew up in a household and you're never corrected, just imagine what that's like. You never learn from your mistakes. There's never no consequences. By the time you become an adult, you miss out on a lot of teaching moments. When you got your dad there and hey man, what the fuck? Like, get your shit together. What are you doing? Just discipline you so that, especially for young men, we desperately need that. You know what I mean?
Here's one for you. You know what? Growing up with my dad, I had a choice whether or not, like, in my household to be like, "Hey, you going to school tomorrow?" And I'd be like, "Nah." He'd be like, "All right, wash the dishes." Like, I was 15. Like, he should not have. He was waiting.
Yeah, that's a dope.
Like, and I always told myself, like, I was saying right there, these niggas getting up out of this house. I don't care. You
Right.
School. Don't think about it.
Yeah, you better go somewhere.
Because I had a choice at 15.
That's crazy.
And I didn't go.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I did 5 years of high school with making my own choices. I got a standing ovation when I graduated at 20.
Well, I can say if my stepdad was never there, I calmed down a lot. Because I was like in my I had to be going on 19 or whatever, and it still was like, when he stepped in, that's why I said it is people that still love you out there. Because when I saw the way he was treating my mother, he stepped in and he took all me and my brothers and sisters. This is 6 of us.
Right.
Okay.
Did you respect him?
He ain't questioned it, asked about it. So when I was finally to talk to somebody about situations that I was going through, I'm like, oh man, like, it is okay.
Salute to the stepfathers out there too.
Yeah.
Hey, did you give him hell she bail at first, or did you?
Man, I tried it.
I tried it.
I tried it. And my dad, he just took me and talked to me. He was like, that's not how, young ladies, they look at you a different way if you carry yourself a certain way. I had that talk, and I'm like, well, damn, Pop. Like, I guess I better start changing. You know what I mean? Because it was something about that night. Like, I had to be outside at night, boy. It was something about them lights. And when the night lights came on, that's when I started getting dressed to go outside.
No, I'm saying, did you give your stepdad hell?
Well, at first, because I felt like, when I came over, I was like, I'm not used to having, it was just my mom. So I'm not used to having the extra partner be like, oh, you can't, it wasn't like he was, telling me what I can't do. He was just teaching me, redirecting me.
Right.
Of what I should do and how I should carry myself.
Right.
And when I start, it made us have a good relationship because I'm like, Dad, this dude really cares. He made me want to call him Pop because I felt that security of Pop. This is my Pop. So when I say stepdad, it made me feel weird to say stepdad because he's been my dad for a long time. So that's when I say my biological, I'm talking about, the father that gave my mom the seed that had, when I'm talking about my dad, he was the one. That's just like I say, just because you planted the seed and had somebody else to grow the flower, you can't come by and try to snip it and be like, look at my prize. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what's up.
The difference.
Hey, last one, T. Tara says, my dad and grandfather scared the hell out of me about having sex, but my curious behind had to find out for myself on my 16th birthday. Sweet 16!
16!
Goddamn, that's a hell of a goddamn birthday.
A hell of a sweet 16.
Hey, that shit playing down.
16 is that age, though.
Yeah, it is. Around 15. It was 15 for me, so it was around 15.